This is Triggered.
And you will be.
Ashley and I are doing video for the first time in months?
You know, it has been a minute. We've moved, we've renovated, What's wrong?
Do you see all of the little fluffs fluffing around my face?
No.
Hmm.
I have a fucking lamp in my face. I
Guys,
can't see anything.
listen, I want you guys to know we are trying. We are the most trying people. We are trying. Listen, Ashley and I don't come from any kind of audio video background. Like,
Mm-mm.
I am a graphic designer by trade, but that means that I receive videos that are already done and then I just have to make them pretty.
I
So
don't know that you're making this pretty.
we're doing the best we can.
That being said, if you're not a subscriber, part of our crew, you missed out on some fucking shit last night because I almost burnt no, not my house. I almost burnt my neighborhood down to the ground. And the whole thing was the most chaos and so like true to my life that I have ever experienced. Let me set the scene because I have to share this with you because it's so fucking ridiculous. My husband and I get home from work and he's like, I'm gonna hop in the shower. I was like, I want enchiladas. Like, I want Mexican food tonight. Let's go. So I'm making the sauce. And a little backstory. My husband's standing in the kitchen and I turn on the oven to start the broil setting, right?
Mhm.
Because he baked the enchiladas after you piece them all together. So he watches me do this. Unbeknownst to me, this motherfucker had put a pizza box in the oven. And why? Why? That's such a bachelor weird thing to do, in my opinion.
You know what, though? I do that shit. I put
Okay.
weird shit in the oven. Yeah.
Right. Watches me turn on broil. I'm listening to my witchy music, doing my thing. I'm manifesting. Praise the fucking universe for all my blessings. Having a time, having a gin. Life is good. All of a sudden, there's smoke. And it's like I blinked and the whole room filled with smoke. And the alarm's going off. So it's like, fire, fire. And it's screaming and the strobe lights are going. So I can't see anything. I'm like, oh my God, the enchilada sauce. It was not the enchilada sauce. So I see like smoke billowing out. So I start screaming, help, help, because I just a
Fire!
girl. I just a girl. I don't know. Like, help me. My husband's in the shower. Now he's 6'3". He's a big dude, okay? Grabs this teeny tiny little pink, I think it was like a hand towel or something. I don't know. I couldn't see in the fog. He comes flying down the stairs, hits the bottom stair, trips, stubs his toe, goes flying. Now I have the oven door open. There's flames, okay? He's screaming about his toe. He's on the ground. I'm screaming about the fire. We just moved in, right?
Yeah, we don't even know the neighbors yet.
Oh, God. So he goes in, pulls the pizza box. It's a flame. Like, it's a flamethrower at this point. He opens the back door, goes to throw it out. And I fucking realize we just turfed our entire backyard in synthetic grass.
Yeah, plastic grass.
Plastic grass. So I'm screaming, the fucking grass, the fucking grass. So he throws it on the deck. There's flames. I'm crying at this point, so I'm filling jugs. We're throwing water, and, there's a moment where you just realize, like, this shit happens every day. Like, this is my house all the time. There's always some kind of bullshit, some kind of dramatic thing, and I feel like maybe we shouldn't live in the middle of, the city. Maybe we are the people that should be far, far away from others because they're getting a free show.
I'm telling you, our future is a family compound.
It's
It
gotta
just
be.
makes sense. I will take care of you. I know you're not a country girl. I know you're
No,
not going to do well out there, but I'm going to
I
be there
know.
every day in my house and you'll be in your house and it'll be great.
So that all that being said, you missed out because there was a whole video of me.
Yes, Ash sent a video to our membership
Yeah.
group chat. I hope those of you that are in there enjoyed it. I I laughed so hard. Because here's the thing, if we did live on a family compound out in the middle of nowhere, if if Matt and I looked out our window and saw Mike in his birthday suit running with a flaming pizza box, like we wouldn't even bat an eye. We'd be like, well, there they go. It would just be another Tuesday.
And that's it. Like, you just
I
never
can't.
know around here.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's the
It's a
same here.
it's a wild
It's
ride.
we joke all the time, but it's not a joke. Like we live in a circus.
Yes.
Between the animals and the kids and the renos, it's a circus up in here.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's wild.
I love
Well,
it.
I really enjoyed it. It was hilarious.
My God. And afterwards, we just sat there and we were like, of course. We almost burnt the whole neighborhood down 3 weeks after moving in. Of course.
Of course, this is our vibe.
Like,
What
"Hi,
else?
guys.
I can't. I can't. I laughed so hard.
I just
I
wanted
made,
Mexican."
I, yeah, I made Matt sit through the whole video and then almost was like, let's watch it again. But I could tell he was not into watching it again. So we did not. I did. Uh, all that being said, okay, so we chatted about our membership a little bit. Guys, we have a membership and you can hop on over to our social media and get the link there. You can go to our website and get the link there. It gives you ad-free listening, one bonus episode a month. So once a month, you're getting an extra one. But I think the thing I love the most about it is the group chat. We
Oh,
have a group chat where we are all basically best friends and we just have the best of times. Ashley and I post random shit in there. You'll get to know other members.
yeah,
And then we also have chats that are specifically for the cases we cover, true crime, supernatural, all the things that why you're here. So
yeah.
check it out. We would love to have you. The more the merrier.
Because you guys hear us, but we don't get to hear you.
I
And
know, and
that's
I
like,
want to hear
that is
you.
part of it for us. Like, this is not just, something we're striving as a job. We want to have a community. We want to
Mhm.
grow this so that we're all just one big, chaotic, crazy family.
Yep, that's us. The
Mm.
chaos crew. Here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have a big case today and I'm so excited to do this one because and I've done something similar in the past, but this one is slightly different and I'll walk you through why right off the hop. Because what I did with today's episode had me questioning what if the dead aren't as gone as we think? And I
Oh,
know you and I believe this, but for those who are skeptical, like, do you ever think about it? Do you ever? And I know one of my closest friends, and I think you know who I'm talking about, is super like, there is nothing beyond this realm. This
yeah.
is reality. This is where we live. We do not reincarnate. We do not haunt. We do not become ghosts, spirits, whatever. She just doesn't believe it, which is fine.
My
I support
husband.
this and I
Yeah.
respect this. But what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong? And I know that sounds like the opening of like a cheesy haunted house attraction, but just hear me out.
Can
Today,
I
I'm
tell you I'm sorry, can I interrupt you
no,
for
you
a
can.
minute?
Of course.
I actually have something that I was kind of holding on to, but
Oh,
since we're on the subject of supernatural and things beyond the grave, I have something very interesting to share that shook me and actually shook my husband to our core the other day.
let's do it.
As a lot of people have heard, my daughter's only cousin passed by suicide at the age of 14.
Mhm. Yeah.
So this was a very traumatic event for our family. This was her only cousin, her best friend, her blood. So the other day, my daughter was going through it. She was kind of like, whatever. She
Mhm.
does skip the dishes as a side
Mhm.
hustle. So she'll
Yeah.
pick up a shift, deliver some food, cruise around. She's probably eating at every fast food place as she's doing it. She's just living life, listening to tunes. So she gets a call. We really need you in. We don't have any coverage. And she's like, I don't want to go. I really don't want to go. But you know what? I'll just go. So she goes, doesn't get a call. So she's pissed off because now
Yeah.
she's driven all the way into town. She lives about 20 minutes outside of the town that she does the skip in. And she's like, no one's calling. All of a sudden, she gets an order. And she sees the order, accepts the order, goes and picks up. She's looking at the address. She's like, I know this address. Now, keeping in mind, this was, I think 5 years ago now that her cousin passed. 6
A
years.
little bit more.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the address of the house that her cousin passed away in was where she had the delivery. And I need to
Oh.
explain something. The odds of that happening, she got one order this
Mhm.
one
Mhm.
day
Yeah.
on her cousin's birthday.
That was her.
Yeah. We
That
were
was
like,
her just being like, "Hey, girl."
yeah. So she, gets to the house and she's been thinking about her cousin all day. It's her
Mm.
birthday,
Yeah.
she would have been 21, 20, 21.
Yeah.
Um, and she's walking up and this is a very hard place for her to go because this is where her
No
cousin passed
kidding.
away. She's really
Mhm.
struggled with this place. She doesn't even like to go down that street. It's a whole thing. She
Yeah.
pulls up and all she could think of was like, it's her birthday
And
and
I'm
like,
here.
I'm here. So that was a
Mm.
little my tidbit from Messages from Beyond. So
Yeah. Well, and this is just it. And like I was saying before, like I respect people from all levels of belief or non-belief. You do you.
yeah,
I'm gonna be over here chatting with my ghosties.
yeah.
But you do your thing. So this episode that I'm covering today started as the coverage of Chris Watts and the monstrous murders of his pregnant wife, Shanann, and their two beautiful daughters, Bella and Celeste.
This piece of shit.
But, yes, but covering this case has always bothered me because rumor has it that Chris Watts loves when his case is covered by true crime podcasts, by 2020. Apparently, we don't have any proof of this necessarily, but rumor has it that when he hears that Stateline is covering his case, like it just tickles him. He also hates being called a monster and murderer, which, like, fuck you.
You
That's
know,
exactly what you are.
so you want the notoriety, you fucking loser. Why do you think people are talking about you? People aren't talking about you because they think you're fucking intriguing. They think you're a fucking
I
reach.
know.
Oh,
I know, right? So it bothered me because I was like, I don't know if I could do a case justice. In the back of my head thinking, if he hears about this, it's going to please him. So I was just really like, I don't want to give this guy any more notoriety than what he deserves.
Like, could you imagine that's the only thing you ever accomplished in your life? And you're proud of that, but you don't want people to
Right?
call you names because you're a sensitive little kitten. Fuck
I'm
off.
like, you're a psychopath that killed your whole family for a little bit of pussy. Like, get the fuck out of here. So, anyway,
Who say?
so the
Fucking
anywho, and then I got to thinking, and when I gets to thinking, you know what happens.
it's danger.
The part of the Watts case that has always stuck with me was how strong Shanann was, and how I truly believe that starting the moment that that sick fuck killed her and her babies, she has haunted him every single day since.
As you would.
Because, right, if you don't know, there are many supernatural aspects to the Watts case. So, what I'm actually doing today is I'm talking about cases where the supernatural or something that looks a whole hell of a lot like it shows up in the murder investigation. Because anytime that I can unite true crime with the paranormal, I will take it. I will do
She,
it every time.
every time, every
Yeah.
time, she's like, "Did you hear?" I'm like, "Oh, she went
Uh-huh.
there. She's
Oh, yeah.
going."
Oh, I'm always going there. Okay. Case one, Chris Watts. Yeah, piece of shit. August 2018, Frederick, Colorado. Shanann Watts is 15 weeks pregnant with her third child, a boy her and her husband, Chris, had already named Nico. Her daughters, Bella and Celeste, are 4 and 3 years old. By all outward appearances, the Watts family is picture perfect. So Shanann did this MLM thing where she was selling these health patches. And so she was always online. She was always doing lives. She was always posting on social media. So we actually have tons and tons and tons of videos of their day to day life. And it looked good. I mean, now I look back at the videos of Chris and I'm like, oh, there it is. Like you could tell by his
Hindsight.
body language, but we didn't know at the time.
You
At the
don't.
time,
Like,
it looked good.
and that's the thing. You don't know until you know.
You don't know until you know. So, anyway, on August 13th, Shanann returns home from a work trip at about 2 o'clock in the morning. By morning, her and her daughters are gone. Chris calls Shanann's best friend, Nicole, who had driven Shanann home the night before. He tells her, I don't know where she is. And Nicole, because she's not a fucking idiot, immediately drives over to the house and demands that police come and do a welfare check. Like, she's like, there's no way. Shanann had an ultrasound appointment that day that she was so excited for. Like, she was excited to see her boy, see how he was growing. She wouldn't have missed that. And Nicole knew that. She was like, there's no way. Mm-mm. While officers are inside the house reviewing the neighbor's security camera footage, which actually ended up in the end showing Chris loading his wife's dead body into their vehicle. So it's on a TV. We're looking at body cam footage. And if you haven't seen this, I highly, highly recommend that you go look for it. I will post it to our social media and our TikTok because so the body camera, the police officer is talking to Chris. He's standing next to a television because the neighbor is trying to bring up his camera footage to see if they can see what happened. Where did the girls go? And Chris is nervous because remember, Chris has murdered them all at this point. A commercial comes on the TV. It's for American Horror Story. Ashley, the commercial features a fetus in utero covered in what looks like oil. And for those of you that don't know this case, and again, I'm not getting into a shit ton of details because fuck you, Chris Watts. So he didn't just murder his pregnant wife and daughters that night. He drove their bodies to the Survey 319 oil site where he worked. He buried his pregnant wife, Shanann, in a shallow grave, and he put Bella and Cece's small bodies inside oil storage tanks. Oil
Right.
tanks. So
What are
the
the
fact
odds?
ex exactly, exactly. And some people will say, "Oh, it's just coincidence." I'm sorry. If you are someone who's like, "Oh, it's just a coincidence. It was a commercial that was being aired all the time." Please go look at this footage because so Chris is standing there and the cop is asking him a bunch of questions. This commercial comes on and you see Chris look at the screen and then he goes, "Oh, and she's pregnant."
Like an afterthought.
And I just gotta say, just based on what I have read about Shanann, that was 100% her.
Yes.
That was the beginning of the haunting of Shanann. Because I think she was like, And don't forget, you didn't just kill me and the two girls, you killed our baby." Here's an image of a fetus so that you don't forget. Covered in oil. What are the chances? What are the
It's
chances?
no. At that moment, in that time, with all like, no. This is just it's too coincidental.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so there's more. And this is all on body cam footage. There is footage from officers at the Watts home. In it, you can hear what sounds like children laughing. So there's two officers. There's a woman and there's an officer with a dog because they're going through every room to see if they can get the scent of the girls and Shanann, and then they're going to go look for them. Okay. So they're in a, it looks like the master bedroom. And as they're about to go into the closet, it's clear as day. You hear little girls giggling. And the one officer says, "Did you hear that?" And they go in, and the dog handler starts like pushing around the closet because she's like, "Oh, it's got to be a toy."
Right.
There was no toy. They did not find anything that would have made that sound. And the
Mhm.
footage is crazy. And again, you might be like, "Oh my God, you're insane." I I think he killed his family and they will never let him forget from day
Here's
one.
here's the thing, and like, my belief and everyone's belief is very unique to your personal experience.
Yes.
But I do think times like these where there is like the police heard it with their raw eardrums. This wasn't just captured
Yes.
like Chantal and I have captured things on video that we,
Yeah.
didn't hear with our ear and whatever. They actually heard it. These are police. They are there looking for this family,
And evidence. Like
but
they
they're
are there for
yeah,
logic.
they're they're not there thinking the kids are hiding in the closet. They know they're not there. So the
No,
fact that they heard that, it's just
I
gives
know.
me goosebumps. Like, it's just I've
And
got
there's
bubbles.
tons like for those of you who do go actually looking for these things, you're going to find tons of other scenarios, tons of other instances where people claim that they have heard the girls in the house, that they've seen, shadows of the girls. So there's tons here. But honestly, I just think Shanann is such a badass that chances are she's haunting the fuck out of him. And I hope she does.
Oh, get it,
I
girl.
hope she does. So And if you wanna know all the details of the Watts story, please look it up. It's not that I'm not telling the whole story because I don't want to, and I don't think that Shanann and the girls and Nico deserve it. It's just I don't wanna give this guy any kind of clout or any kind of credit
Well,
to
and it's
his
been
name.
told over and over again.
It has.
It's
Yeah.
not hard to find,
No. No.
but the fact that you're telling it in a different way is
Mhm.
incredible. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So Chris Watts confessed he's serving 5 consecutive life sentences with no possibility of parole. And it just feels like right from the get-go, Shanann was like, "Hey, oil,
Yeah.
that's where we are. All right, next case. We're going to Chicago. Chicago,
Chicago.
1977."
Mm,
Oh, Ash, you're gonna love this one. Teresita Basa is 47 years old. She's a Filipino immigrant who came to the United States to study music. She had a master's degree and gave piano lessons to neighborhood kids in her spare time. She works so, like, this woman just did everything, and I'm like, "Bitch, get it." She works as a respiratory therapist at Edgewater Hospital on Chicago's North Side. So, you're a respiratory therapist, you're a piano teacher, and you have your master's degree, like, bitch, and you're an
badass.
immigrant, like, wow.
Get it, girl.
By every account, she's quiet, she's kind, and she's just unassuming. Like, really sweet girl. Anyone who met her was just like, "Oh, Teresita's such a doll," you know? And she is absolutely the last person you would expect to end up the center of one of the most bizarre criminal investigations in American history.
Really?
Mhm. February 21st, 1977. The fire department responds to a blaze at Teresita's apartment building on Pine Grove Avenue. They put out the fire, and when they do, they find her naked, stabbed through the chest with a butcher knife that is still lodged in her body.
Wha
Mhm.
Okay.
She had been placed under a burning mattress. The
Under?
scene was staged to look like a sexual assault, but the autopsy revealed that didn't happen. So it was so fucked up just to begin with, okay? First of all, they tried to make it look like a rape, maybe like a rape gone bad. She was not raped. They killed her, left the knife in her chest, threw a mattress over top of her, and lit it on fire. Like, that is you wanna talk about chaos? What?
Can I tell you right away where my brain goes?
Yes.
It was a woman.
Oh, interesting.
Because I'm like, "Okay, you left could you not get the butcher knife out of the chest? You tried to make it look like a man did this?"
Interesting. Hmm.
Anyways, maybe not. Maybe I'm so fucking fucked up, it doesn't even
Hey.
make sense, but it sounds to me as though this was deliberately meant to look like a man did it.
Hmm. Very
But
interesting.
psychology tells us that women generally don't stab.
So, there's no motive. Again, Teresita is a run-of-the-mill, kind, sweet darling. No leads, no suspects. The case goes cold almost immediately. Like, they have nothing. Now, Edgewater Hospital, where Teresita worked, is a big place. There's lots of staff, and among her colleagues is a woman named Remy. I'm going to say this wrong.
Oh,
Remy Bias Chua, known as Remy. We can go with Remy.
okay.
Also a respiratory therapist, also Filipino. They aren't close friends exactly, but they're coworkers, and Remy knows who Teresita is, and that's about it. So they were nice to each other at work. They never hung out after work. They weren't calling each other. They weren't hanging out. 6 months pass. No arrest, no progress. This is cold, cold. And then Remy starts having episodes. The first time, she's taking a nap at home. Her husband, Dr. Jose Chua, is in the room. Remy begins speaking in a voice that is not her own, a different cadence, a different accent, one that matches Teresita's distinctive Filipino Spanish lilt. And
Hmm.
she says in Tagalog, Doctor, I would like to ask for your help. The man who murdered me is still at large.
Stop it.
Now, Jose is understandably terrified. He's like, who, who are you speaking to? And the voice replies, I am Teresita Basa. She tells him not to be afraid. She tells him her killer's name is Alan Showery, an orderly at the hospital. She tells him that Showery came to her apartment the night of the murder to fix her television. She says, he stole my jewelry, a pearl ring, and a jade pendant that had belonged to her mother, purchased in France. She tells Jose to go to the police. Then Remy wakes up.
What the fuck do you mean? Like, could you imagine that
Matt
whole
would leave
situation?
me
Yeah.
so fast. He'd be like, listen, this was fun. I love you. I can't do this shit anymore. I can't do this shit.
Mike would drop me off at the nearest psych ward and be like, "Can you fucking fix this bitch? Like she gone. She went
Uh,
a little hard."
right? Oh, and it shit only gets, and like, I hope the husbands listening to us appreciate poor Jose.
Poor
Because Jose
Jose.
Jose does not go to the police. He's a doctor, and he's like, what am I gonna do? Walk into a police station and be like, hey, my wife had a nap and was possessed by a dead, murdered woman.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? That's not an option. So he kind of, and Remy has absolutely no knowledge, no remembrance of this whatsoever. When she wakes up, she's looking at him and she's like, dude, why are you so pale?
What is your
And he's
problem?
like, and he doesn't even tell Remy the first time. Like, he's like, um, I just need to go for a walk. Cause what are you going to say?
It-
But then it happens again and
Stop.
again. The third time, the voice asks Jose, why haven't you done anything yet? And Jose is talking to this dead ghost woman through his wife. And he says, I have no evidence. The voice says, find the jewelry. It's with Showery's girlfriend. So this time, Jose goes to the police. Because, yeah. Detectives Joseph Stachula and Lee Eplin are, as you can imagine, skeptical. These are homicide investigators in 1970s Chicago. Like,
Right.
they've seen some shit, but possession is not on their dance card. Like, they're like, Jose, my friend, how's your sleeping going?
Yeah.
When was the last time you got a good rest? Like,
Right. You're probably very overworked.
but here's what they do. They have a note in Teresa's personal effects with the initials AS. And remember, it's Alan Showery. And he did live near Teresita. And coworkers, when they start, because the cops are like, this is probably insane, but it's a cold case. We got nothing. Maybe we're chasing a ghost today. So they go to the hospital and they start talking to people. Some of the coworkers say, oh my God, you're right. The night Teresita was murdered, Alan was going over there to fix her television.
You know, can I just say something?
Mm-hmm.
They just remembered that now. Like,
Well, here's the thing. I don't think so. Before then, they didn't really have anything to go by. And while they spoke to like some of the coworkers who were like, did Did Teresita have plans? It wasn't something that stuck out.
Okay.
Like in my head, I'm like, it would kind of be like, imagine if one of your coworkers, if the police showed up today and they were like, hey, 5 weeks ago on Tuesday, did your coworker who you're not great friends with, but you work with, did she go grocery shopping?
Right. No, fair
Right?
enough.
Like, you don't know. Like, you're just like, maybe. But when they showed up and they were like, hey, did Alan fix a lot of people's TVs?
Yeah.
Then it jogged their memory and they were like, "Oh my god, actually, you're right." So, they go to Showery's apartment because 'cause they're like, "We're gonna go talk to this guy. We're gonna look around if we can look around." And I don't know all the details of how they found this, but they show up to the apartment, and while one officer is talking to Alan, the other one does the whole, "Can I use your bathroom?"
Yeah.
and sneaks into the bedroom. He opens up Showery's girlfriend's jewelry box, and sitting there is a pearl ring and a jade pendant, exactly how Jose had said it would be. Teresita's family confirms that the jewelry is hers on site. So they show them and they're like, that's her stuff. Confronted with the evidence, Showery confessed. The trial was literally dubbed the Voice from the Grave trial. Remy testified that Teresa had apparently spoken through her body. The jury convicted.
This is crazy.
Okay, so I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't go into this little bit of detail. Remy and Showery, so the girl who Teresita was speaking through, and Showery did have a history. He had made complaints about her work performance. She lost her job around the time the possession started. So skeptics have basically said, was she genuinely channeling the spirit of the murdered woman, or did she know something and that was just the safe way of her coming forward?
I mean, I don't know because here's the thing. If you know something is fucking sketchy, you hate this guy because obviously he's an asshole. Um,
Uh-huh.
do you really care? Like, you're gonna make yourself look cray cray? Like, I feel like why wouldn't you just go to the police? Like, I don't think it to me, it doesn't because she had to keep channeling to get her husband to do something. Just doesn't seem,
Normally, I would say, okay, yeah, that's a possibility. What gets me is the jewelry.
yeah,
The police didn't know about the jewelry. No one knew about the jewelry.
right.
And then for Remy, now could she have possibly know? But here's the thing, how would she have
No,
known where it was in the house?
no,
The
no.
voice,
This is
Teresita literally said it was with his girlfriend.
wild. Wild.
Yeah, so that was like he went to prison for it. He
Uh,
confessed. He was like, "Yeah, it was me."
you know, don't fuck around because, I truly think that this is one of those cases where it was like, you're not getting away with this. And
No.
fuck around and find out. The universe will twist and turn and bend and figure it out.
And this is just it. Like, and again, another case of she could not rest. She
Yep.
was like, this motherfucker is walking around,
Yep.
doing his shit, going about his life after he brutally murdered me for no fucking reason. And I won't let that go.
Fuck
She
him.
was like, Remy, you nap a lot.
Yeah. This is
Your husband's a
perfect.
doctor. This is perfect. Okay. Last one. And this might be my favorite one just because it's fucked. We're going back even further. England, 1827. Maria Martin is 25 years old. She lives in the small village of Polstead in Suffolk. The kind of place where everyone knows everyone's business. It's 1827. You have nothing better to do than know everyone's business.
That is my dream era,
I
clearly.
I don't know.
As I sit here in my 1827 office, I'm like, "Uh-huh."
Honestly. You're like, "Mhm." So gossip is rampant. Everyone's judgy. We see the shows. It's
Yeah.
pretty accurate. Maria is not exactly the village's most respectable resident because she's had a couple kids with a couple guys she was not married to.
It's me,
Ashley,
I'm Maria.
it's me. And like that's cool today. 1827, that was like you were the worst of the worst of the worst.
I mean, I did get married, but, it's so funny to me, and this era just blows my mind because, like, it's all optics.
Oh,
Everyone was fucking around, let's
but
not
see,
pretend.
they didn't have anything better to do. Like, what were
Yeah.
they going to do besides whisper under their bonnets about Maria? Like, so anyway, Maria's got a couple kids. She didn't give a fuck. She fucked around. She found out. Here she was. But in 1827, she is in love, or at
Oh.
least she believes she is. His name is
Mm,
William Corder. He's
mm.
24, the son of a local farmer, and he is, by all accounts, a liar, a charmer, and a man with more schemes than scruples. He and Maria have been involved for a while. They had a child together, but the child died shortly after she gave birth.
Oh, okay.
And Corder, despite having every reason to quietly disappear from Maria's life, has promised to marry her. And I don't know the details here, but I can only assume, I've been talking about vaginas a lot today, and I can only assume he just couldn't hit it and quit it. Like he can't do it.
She was a
She
skilled
had
lady.
something. She had something going on. So he was like, "You know what? I'll just promise to marry her and then maybe I can have this go on a little bit longer." Um, but there's a catch because there's always a catch in our stories. Like nothing is, he hits it and they live happily ever after. That's not happening here. So he tells Maria that parish authorities are about to arrest her for having illegitimate children, which is a real thing that happened in 1827, essentially for being poor and unmarried and just being a woman in the 19th century. Like you broke the law, you harlot.
I feel like you're looking directly at me. I'm like,
I'm not. I am not. Side note here. One of my friends found this like Russian witch who offers this like fire cleansing because she believes that every person that you have a sexual encounter with in your life leaves a piece of themselves with you. And so she offers this like fire cleansing ritual where like she'll cleanse all the old sexual spirits from you. Anyway, we're doing it. And I'm just like, I'm going to burn the house down. Like, I'm genuinely concerned. I'm like, can you talk to me about the flame
s-
level depending
spontan-
on how many spirits come out of me?
spontaneous combustion. Everyone's like, we don't know what happened. All of a sudden, she just blew up.
Like, I'm genuinely concerned, as is my friend that I'm doing this with. She's like, what if, like, should I go first? And I'm like, could you? Because that will determine if I'm going at all. Anyway. Okay. So he's like, Maria, you're being arrested. Shit is bad. He says, I have a plan though, because I love you and I'm going to marry you. And she's like, tell me everything. He says, dress in men's clothing to avoid suspicion. Meet me at the Red Barn in the middle of the night. Okay. Now the Red Barn apparently was this local landmark that people met to do all sorts of things. So he was like, dress in men's clothes, meet me at the Red Barn. We got this. We'll run away. On May 18th, 1827, Maria says goodbye to her family. Good night. She slips on the disguise. She walks to the Red Barn. She is never seen alive again.
Hang on. She left her kids?
Well, yeah.
Huh.
Listen, here's what we need to understand. I don't doubt that because there is this innate intuition, this like raw thing that happens when you become a parent and
Mhm.
especially a mother, that you do have deep love and attachment to your children. But the obsession we have with our children is very much a this century thing.
This is very true.
They lived in such a state of survival all the time that kids were just another thing.
Yeah,
And I don't doubt you loved your kids, but Maria was looking at this as an opportunity of like, I get to run away with the man of my dreams and start over where nobody knows that I have kids.
fair.
So,
Okay.
whatever. No judgment.
No.
For the next several months, Quarter maintains the fiction. He writes to Maria's family claiming that they've married. He says she's busy. He says she hurt her hand and she can't write. She burned it on the stove. Oh my God. He
This
says
fucking
she's
guy.
living happily in Ipswich in Great Yarmouth on the Isle of Wight. The location keeps changing. Like he's like, oh, we're here. No, we're here. We're over here now. And Maria's family is uneasy, but what can they do? Eventually, Quarter moves to London, where, and this is one of the most audacious things I've read today, he places an advertisement in 2 London newspapers seeking a wife. This was Tinder before there was Tinder.
A man before the fucking times.
I know.
Imagine.
He receives
Wait,
around 100
can
responses.
can we just have a little fun with this for a minute? If
Let's
you
go.
were gonna place an ad, it's 1800s, looking for a husband, hypothetically
Mhm,
speaking, what would
mhm.
your ad? Give me your ad.
Must be a strong lad who can carry the load of the family. Must have a donkey and a few goats. I require 4 chickens for my dowry. I will make you no, see, here's the thing, I can't promise I would make bread because if Matt's listening, like, I'm not the best cook, but I could do other things.
You're dead.
I will collect those eggs like a motherfucker. Imma make you an omelet that you can't resist.
Oh my fuck, okay. Oh, I can't.
So so he receives around 100 responses and he marries one of them. Anyway,
Like,
meanwhile, back in Polstead, Maria's stepmother, Anne, is not sleeping. And we know about this.
uh-huh.
I'm like, girl, is it perimenopause?
You know,
What do you got
you're
going
not
on over there, sweetheart?
you're not escaping that. I feel that
Yeah,
in my bones.
yeah. She starts having dreams. Vivid, recurring, specific dreams. In them, she sees Maria and she sees the Red Barn. She actually sees her stepdaughter being murdered and buried in the grain storage beneath the floor of the barn.
Like, specifically beneath the grain storage.
Specifically, she
Okay.
sees it all. She wakes up the first time and she's like, oh my God, that was so disturbing. Doesn't say anything to anybody. Second night, wakes up, tells her husband. She's like, you're not going to want to hear this. I got a bad feeling. Like, I've had this dream 2 nights in a row. So she asks him the second night, she's like, can you please just go to the barn? Like, let's just go. You're going
Check
to
it out.
have a look around. There's going to be nothing, and I'll leave you alone. Thomas Martin goes to the Red Barn almost a year after Maria disappears.
A year?
And yeah, yeah,
Oh,
she's been missing for a long time.
okay.
And William just kept writing these letters, making it seem like she was fine. She was this, we were doing this, we're married, we're happy. So they didn't really have any reason to suspect that any shit was going down. He starts digging under the grain storage because he's like, and when I was reading this, I can just picture, because this is the shit Matt would do for me. Like he would grab a shovel, he'd go out,
Yeah.
he'd be like,
This.
"All right, where are we digging?" I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Right there. I saw it in my dream." He'd be like,
Yeah.
"All right, here we fucking go." Well, Thomas starts digging, and almost immediately, in the first place Anne tells him to dig, he finds his daughter's remains buried in a sack in a shallow grave. The green handkerchief she'd been wearing the day she left was still visible. That's how they knew it was her.
Oh God.
Corder was tracked to his London home, arrested, brought back to Suffolk, and tried for murder. He was hanged in August 1828 in front of an enormous crowd. Like, there are drawings, there are sketches of this because we weren't taking photos, so you'll have to
Fair.
deal with the sketch. And I'm going to share it on social media because there were like thousands of people there. And here's the detail that I was just like, God, we're fucked up species. Um, After he was dead, so they made the death mask, which if you don't know what that is, especially with prisoners or like famous people, they would put this like, I want to say concrete. It was never concrete. It was usually like
No.
molten metals
Yeah.
over the dead person's face. And then that was called a death mask. And that's how, because they weren't taking autopsy photos. So
No,
that's
no,
how
no.
we knew what they looked like.
Yeah.
Um, but another thing they did is they skinned him, tanned his skin, and bound two books about this murder in his skin.
Uh, I'm
And they're
sorry.
still in a museum today.
What museum? Because I'm booking a flight. Because what the fuck?
It is in Bury St. Edmunds to this day. They have a William Corder corner where they have his death mask and they have the books that are bound in this murderer's tanned hide.
You know,
I'm
I
just like, why are we so fucked up?
we are so fucked up.
And what was the conversation that led to that? Who can you just stay with me here for a second, all right? So we've just hung this person. There's tens of thousands of people around. They're cheering. They're drunk. They're doing their thing. This is a party, okay? We take his body down. We bring him into wherever the fuck we're bringing him, okay? Who was
Yeah.
like, guys, listen, I got a thought. And then who was like, oh my God, what a great idea.
Let's
Let's
skin him.
fucking do it.
There's gotta be some some type of like spiritual reasoning or just a bunch of drunk idiots because really at this rate
I'm just like, was everyone loaded and was like, hey, 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 I have an idea. I got some
this is
thought.
this is fucked. You know,
Yeah.
I'm quite so I love museums of the macabre because of course I do. That is one thing I would travel to see.
Well, yeah, I want to see that.
Put it on the list, Tally. Write
Yeah,
it
let's do it.
down. Because
We're writing
what?
it down. So similar to Teresita's situation, you know, people were like, Did Maria's stepmother know more than she let on? She just didn't know how to say anything. What's the thing here? And that's always a possibility. I'm not saying it's not, but it is recorded as she was having dreams where Maria was coming to her and being like, "Hey there, stepmommy. Guess what? I'm not okay. I did not burn my hand. I'm not good."
These are the ones that I like. Thank you for telling us these stories because it
Mhm.
just changes it up for us. It gets us thinking. It
Yeah.
really these stories, they light a little light within me because I'm like, see, I knew I was right. It does exist.
This is the thing. And we're not sitting here and telling you like if you don't believe in this shit, there's no judgment. I don't care, honestly.
No, no.
I just like to bring to light and bring to attention these are recorded cases. Teresita's case, that is part of the official record that they went to Alan's house specifically because Jose was like, "My wife had a dream while she was sleeping and spoke to me and told me where this murderer was." That's fact. That's not, and again, you can say, "Oh, well, Remy probably knew what was going on, blah, 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 blah." Maybe, maybe. Um, but for all of this, I cannot explain away the Shanann Watts thing.
No, no.
That is too, it wasn't just a fetus on a screen. It was a fetus covered in oil. What are the chances? What are the chances that at that exact moment in time, the day after he put his babies in oil and his pregnant wife in a shallow grave, that that would show up on the screen while the officer had his body cam on? Sorry.
It's just fucking eerie.
Yeah.
It's just eerie. And
Yeah.
like even if you don't believe, when you look at cases like this and they compound and you're like, there we cannot be just on this earth, soulless humans. Like,
I don't think so.
no, no.
I can't get behind that. And again, like people will say, "Oh, you're delusional. Oh, you're whatever." I'm okay with that.
I'm happy
There's
being
just
you.
I am one of these people that if I can't explain it, it's probably ghosts or aliens. That's where I'm at.
Well, thank you, my sweet
You're so
angel.
welcome. And I know we had fun today because occasionally we need a little break from the deep macabre.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm bringing it.
but
I'm bringing
at the
the
same
dark.
time, Shanann, Teresita, Maria, I do, these people were murdered
Yep,
brutally. And I do hope that their families found grace and healing throughout the years. And by all accounts, they're probably still floating around with us. So there's that.
right?
But thank you all for listening. Check out our membership. We would love to have you. And we will see you all on Tuesday.
Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.